Hello everyone, it is Stephanie with GLITTAFUL here today to show you all how to make some cool notebook molds. So I bought these notebook molds and I have used them quite a bit. They're kind of grungy right now. That's okay as long as my center is clean. So I bought these notebook molds on Etsy, and I will have the description link below in the description bar. You're going to need few things. So I am going to be using a combination of alcohol inks, glitter, and I'll be using Caesar's palette from our collection at GLITTAFUL, and that's www.glittaful.com. And I'm also going to be playing with our hidden gem here, Mystique. And Mystique is just an enhancer, okay? So I'm going to show you how to use her. I have already whipped up an epoxy, our epoxy, and I'm using Alumilite today. So you are going to need a lot. This is an A5 notebook mold, and that's the size. So there's three other sizes, but this one's an A5, and for this one you're going to need 60 mLs of epoxy. Okay, by the time once everything is dried and done and designed, we're going to have something cool looking like this. Okay, how cute is that? All right, so I'm also going to be using a silicone brush, and I'll show you why. Spreading this across can be a little bit funky, so I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to want to have kind of like a popsicle stick or something that you can move around. I'm going to be using a combination of these little tools right here, see? But if you have a popsicle stick, that's fine too. You want to have a torch handy so that we can pop all of our micro bubbles. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so let's get right on to it. So the first step is to make sure that your epoxy is stirred up nicely, that it's clear and not murky or milky, from what I've heard that term before. To me, you just want to make sure that you can see through it, okay? So Mystique, like I said, is an enhancer, and she's absolutely gorgeous. The cool thing about Mystique is a little goes a long way. You do not need much of Mystique in order to make an impact, okay? So I'm going to be using the tip of my popsicle stick to pour some Mystique into your epoxy, okay? You can definitely use it outside, but I prefer to use it inside my epoxy so that I can mix in. And take a look, I'm not using much. Let me put my hand up there. I'm not using much. I'm using the tip of my popsicle stick. You're gonna go ahead and you're going to add it into your epoxy. Not much, you're just gonna make sure that it's fully blended in there, so that you give your epoxy a beautiful shimmer. Okay, this Mystique is such a great tool for enhancing anything down to wood grains, hydro dips, dirty pours, whatever it needs, kind of a little bit of like a pizzazz without distorting your design. And this is why I love Mystique so much. And like I said, she is a hidden gem, because we're like, well, what do we do with that? Well, you do anything with it. It's that awesome. It doesn't distort your design. It just gives it an extra boost of shine to any design that you have, and I absolutely love that. So this is why I'm bringing her in today, because I really want to give these books just a little bit more pizzazz. It's going to be a book for me, so why not, right? All right, so like I said, I'm going to be using a silicone brush, and if you don't have one, you can pick one up at our website, and that's GLITTAFUL, again, glittaful.com. If you don't have one, you can pick it up, or if you don't want one, that's okay, use a popsicle stick. But I like these bad boys. They're really easy to maneuver, and I'll show you how. So and if you're still watching this video, before I continue, please give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to our channel. And join us on Facebook on our GLITTAFUL Glitter Fanatics page. We love to see new crafters and for everyone to kind of just see the love and the crafts that we do. So there you go. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and start pouring in your epoxy. Can you see this shimmer, guys? Take a look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, you pour this in, and with your silicone brush, you're gonna start moving your epoxy from corner to corner. Epoxy self-leveling, for those of you that are new, are trying out this craft, epoxy self-leveling. So this is why we put our cups on the churner, because we want it to spin and spin and spin until it has completely leveled out on the cup, making your design smooth. But when it comes to mold, that's not gonna happen. You don't have anything moving it around, so you have to be that person. You have to be what moves it around. So and this is why I'm saying, use a silicone brush, use a popsicle stick, something that's going to make this move, okay, from corner to corner. And yeah, you can absolutely pour this completely out onto the mold. I do it in spurts because I want to make sure that it is fully covered in the areas that I need it, so I'm not having to push so much. And then, so yeah, so you're just continuing to push this around. And guys, I've used this mold so many times. There's so many different things you can do. I'm so excited to show you a couple other crafts that I have with this. Yeah, so I'm super excited. I love these little, I love things that you can repurpose. So these notebook molds are awesome. They're great gifts for teachers, for your, you know, for your little ones, for yourself. Everybody deserves a beautiful book. And the cool thing is that, you know, if you ever go to the craft store, there's that planner aisle, and there's so many different types of planners, but the planner aisle, and you know, if you're like me, go to the craft store, you're just like, I need a planner, or I need a notebook because it's so pretty, it draws you in. Well, now you can make it. These, you can buy the binder clips and make your own pretty planner. You can design your own book using different types of scrap paper, and I will show you what I'm doing with mine. I bought this beautiful scrap paper collection. I am a summer girl, so even though I love fall, and I'm happy that it's around the corner, I am going to miss summer, and I usually do until it's back. So this is a good way to keep it in front of my face a little bit. So I'm excited. All right, so with any time that you're working with resin, you want to make sure that you're popping those micro bubbles. See, I have a couple here, so I want to make sure that I pop it and I get it fully covered. And all I'm doing here, guys, I want to make sure that I have all my epoxy in areas where it looks like maybe it didn't get to, so that it's fully covered, and that's all I'm making sure. Some of these areas look like it's missing some epoxy, and so again, you're the leveler, so you're the one moving it from side to side, making sure each corner has enough. All right, so I'm going to leave that to the side, and then I will clean this off. Big thing that I'm always asked is, how do you clean this off? Very simple. Let me get a piece of paper here. If it's wet like it is right now, I will go ahead and just grab a paper towel, and I will clean this off because it comes right off, okay? I will not wait until it is dry. I like to preserve life to this, to anything that I use in my craft room, guys, because if this is a hobby, then this can get expensive. If you're a business owner, then you want to keep your costs down. So making sure that you preserve life to everything is important. So I always wipe it off when it's wet. If it's tacky, you want to use a baby wipe. If it's dry, then you just peel it off. But again, I don't like to wait till it's dry. And there you go, it's clean. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on our torch, and let's pop all these little micro bubbles, always side to side, never in one spot, because what's going to end up happening is that you are going to burn your epoxy. That is not what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to kill those micro bubbles. All right, so now once you're done with that, what you want to go ahead and do is open up your alcohol inks and get to the playing. So alcohol inks are really, really cool. They're just something to do, and you can create whatever you want with it. So that's why I love them. So I'm going to be using two brands. I'm going to be using Tim Holtz Wild Plum. I'm going to be using the Piñata brand in Señora Margarita. Said that really with my accent and everything. And Piñata White. Okay. So, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and start pouring. Making little dots. Nothing fancy. And I just love to see how alcohol inks just start to kind of disperse in there. I'm gonna add Señora Margarita to my mix, and she's a little bit richer, a little bit lighter, as you can tell. And I've seen some awesome designs to this. Like I've seen sometimes like they'll add a lot of resin artists will just add these dots and then kind of move on. And I think they're gorgeous. Some of them come out so nice. The tint just really brings out, it's gorgeous. But I want to take it one step further and show you how awesome it is to have a white in your collection. If you add the white in the centers, very little, not much, of your colors, take a look at what it does to your alcohol inks. It's so beautiful. So I like to do that inside, and then I'll do a couple on the outside. Let's see here. I'm going to add some more color on this side. I love this. I just love the reaction they have. See, and I'll go ahead and put it in the center. It's really fun. You just have to have fun with this, guys. It really is art. So you can't be so hard on yourself. You can't be like, well, I hate that. Well, if you hate it, then do something else with it. Keep moving it around. Add more inks. We're not done. So this is, take a look at that reaction. Do you see that? How cool is that? That reaction right here. All right, so I'm actually, this is not the look that I'm going for, but I just wanted to show you can do really cool dots and leave as is and kind of let it do its thing. Another thing that you can do is add heat and shift around your inks so that they move from side to side. Again, never direct heat, right guys, because this will burn your epoxy. But you could do that and you get like cool little squiggles like that. You get some cool little holes. But I want to go ahead and do a swirl. I want to kind of recreate a little bit of this. So here's the thing. You don't really can always recreate the same, but you can do very close to it. So keep that in mind, especially if this is your business and you have customers and they're like, well, you know, I want the same as the picture that you show me. You can try to recreate the look, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get the same as in the picture, okay? So be conscious of that, because if you're not specific, you can get yourself into a pickle, all right? So take a look. I just used my little sticky thingy. Again, you can use the popsicle stick. I don't know, I wanted to use this. You just swirl around. You want to move all this stuff around, all your inks, get from corner to corner, and be the master of your design, right? So I'm looking at here and I'm like, well, this is gorgeous, but I have way too much little clear areas. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is add more inks. This needs more pinks to my mix. No rhyme, no reason, just adding more ink so that it can take over my mix right here. So I can have a full covered book without having any clear epoxy. I don't want any clear epoxy. I want the shimmer to come through, and you guys, I cannot wait for you guys to see the shimmer of Mystique. It is amazing. See, and then just go back at it again. I'm swirling here. Now, this book seems like it's gonna be just a tad bit darker. I have two molds. Two molds that you could do. You can buy them single. Excuse me. You can buy them single, or you can buy them in a pack of two. If you're doing these as a notebook set, I would highly suggest for you to get it in the double pack, so that you don't have to sit there and wait, demold, and then do it again. You can do a set at a time. How cool that is. And remember, guys, the more you shift your colors, as you can see what I'm doing here with these swirls, the more you're blending. So be mindful of that when you are doing multiple colors. Remember your color chart, what you're taught in kindergarten, guys. What colors will turn to what, because you will mix them and you're like, well, what do you mean it turned purple? I didn't want purple. Well, if you're using colors that will combine to purple, you're gonna get a purple. So be mindful of that, and don't forget that will happen. Oh, I really like this, how this is playing out. I might just leave it now. What I'm noticing here, as your epoxies starting to get tacky, and if you're doing too much pressing to the bottom of the mold, you are gonna start getting pockets of the resin, like pockets between the resin and the mold. So make sure that you're not being so hard once it starts to dry up a little bit and you're kind of finalizing your project here, so that you're not having those little pockets there. I'm absolutely in love with this. So yeah, guys, now I'm gonna go ahead and add some of my glitter. And again, I'm gonna be using Caesar's Palace, and I'm just going to be using that for effect. You can absolutely do whatever it is that you feel you want to do. I'm just doing it all for effect. We are Glitterful. We need to have some glitter in this. It just has to happen, especially if it's going to be a Glitterful book. We need to have some glitter. So, just adding a little bit of this, and this is again, it's Caesar's Palace. It's from our Fine collection, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very new to our collection, so we're so excited for it. Just gives the perfect amount of shimmer. Yeah, so let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and move that around a little bit. Let's see, so it can kind of blend into what's going on. Oops. And then I'm gonna leave this bad boy alone. I'm gonna let this dry. So for this, I've noticed that I have to wait at least 6 to 8 hours for it to be fully dry. We are going through I live in North Carolina, so we are going through a humidity spurt right now, so it's been really difficult for our cups and our resin pieces to dry as quickly as they do. So if you have a fan, regulate that so that your fan can put your fan on with your heater, so that for your room is leveled, like your temperature is leveled, and it will not affect it will not affect your drying time. So just keep that in mind. But for me, I'm looking at 6 to 8 hours for this amount of epoxy. So I cannot wait to show you the finished product and how my little book looks. So stay tuned. See y'all soon. All right, guys, so we let our beautiful notebook dry and cure. So let's go ahead and demold this gorgeousness. And just pop this. This is the awesome thing about silicone molds, that they literally just come right off. So anything that you thought was maybe gonna stick up is now not to worry about. It's for your cleanup for later. So take a look at how gorgeous this came out. Take a look at the back side so you can choose whether you want to use the back or if you want to use the front. I really love both of them. So it's actually it looks so much different from this one, but like I said, you make different, each piece of art is going to be different. So you cannot just say, hey, it's gonna be the same. It's not. They're not all gonna come out the same. So the cool thing is I'm going to be using these as a front and back, obviously. And I'm going to add my inserts, and I will be using these little binder clips for this mold. Take a look at that, how cute. And these can be purchased on Amazon. I'll have the link for you guys below in the description bar. They're really cute. By the time you're done with your book, this is what it should look like with your rings. I didn't put a lot of paper in here. I had paper lying around. I just cut it to size. I plan to do like little folders and things like that. But yeah, this is what your book should look like. It's so stinking cute. So have fun with it, guys. This is a piece of art. Try it out, see what you want to do with it. But I'm absolutely in love of how gorgeous all this little artwork came out to look like. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's Stephanie with GLITTAFUL. I hope to see you guys in our GLITTAFUL Glitter Fanatics group. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And I wish you guys all a GLITTAFUL day. Bye.